Hello, everyone. Welcome to those who haven't been here before. Welcome back to those who have watched before. Thanks for coming again. My name is Aaliyah Langley, and let's talk about the 2025 Oscar nominees. The Oscar nominations came out bright and early this morning. Let's talk about some of my reactions, some surprises, some snubs, just some general things. I will not give my predictions yet. I'm going to wait until a couple more weeks until the Oscars, which are on March 2nd, to kind of give my predictions. When I did this last year, I did my predictions like the day the nominations came out, and I think I was like 85 to 90% right on my predictions. But I feel like last year was more straightforward. This year is a little bit more like I'm not sure, and there's still a lot going on, so I'm going to wait till a couple more weeks to kind of see like where I think things are going to shake up and end up essentially. But yeah, let's get to it. Hello, this is me from the future. I filmed this video already, but it's something I want to quickly note. I picked this sweater as a complete coincidence. I had something else on, and I just put this on at the last second and said I'll wear this instead. And after I filmed the video, I quickly looked at my video from last year to see what I named the video. And I said, oh, I'm wearing the same sweater that I'm in right now that I wore this time last year. So that was not on purpose. It just kind of happened that way. This is not going to be a trend. Let's see. Who knows? Maybe next year I end up picking the same sweater again. No idea. But just wanted to note that if you happen to watch the video last year, like, is this girl in the same sweater? Anyway, yeah. Anyways, too much chatter. Let's get to the video. Talk about the nominations. So first up, we're going to go over is visual effects. The nominees here are Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. I've seen all of these movies other than Alien Romulus. Don't know who will win there. All deserving, probably. So yeah, I don't have much to say there. Next up is sound. We have A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Got nominees. Next up is production design. We have The Brutalist, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. All right. International feature film, I'm Still Here, which I'm so excited. I haven't seen this movie yet. I'm seeing it in 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks today, actually, on the 6th. I'm so excited to see that movie. I'm Still Here, and you'll hear that name coming up later as well. The Girl with the Needle, let's just say, I'm Still Here is from Brazil. The Girl with the Needle from Denmark. Emilia Perez is from France, which I should say, it's like from like where the producers I think are from, because like Emilia Perez is like a movie set in Mexico, but anyway, it's coming from France. The Seed of the Sacred Fig from Germany, and Flow, which is from Latvia. Documentary short film nominees is Death by Numbers, I Am Ready, Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, The Only Girl in the Orchestra. I haven't seen any of those, but hopefully I'll get to see some of them. Next up is documentary feature. We have Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, which I've heard is excellent, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and Sugarcane. Music, original song, El Mal from Emilia Perez, The Journey from the 6888, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, Mi Camino from Emilia Perez, Never Too Late from Elton John, Never Too Late. Some news with the original song category. The Academy announced yesterday, I believe, that they will not have performers sing their original songs as is typical. So I'm not sure if they're going to do any performances. A lot of people are hoping that, I know like Wicked does some type of singing, like Defying Gravity or something. They're not nominated for original song, but I don't know. But there'll be no performances from the original song nominees, which is interesting. I'm not sure when the last time they've done that, so who knows. Next up, music, original score, The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. I have a snub I want to talk about here, but I'm going to wait till like the end to talk about the snub. I think it's from original score. That when I saw it, I was like, what? But let's keep going through. Live action short film, we have Aline, Anjua, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. All right, next up, we have makeup and hairstyling, A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. Film editing, we have Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked. I don't know, maybe I hadn't been paying that much attention to like film editing, which I don't typically other times. I wasn't expecting Sean Baker, who was the editor for the film as well, to get a nomination here. So I was like, oh cool, look at Sean Baker. Another nomination for him. You got a couple. You'll hear his name some more maybe. Costume design, we have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. Cinematography, I have a snub here as well, but we won't talk about it now. We'll wait to the end. The Brutalist, Doom Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. All right, animated short film, Beautiful Men in the Shadow of Cypress, Magic Candies, Wander to Wonder, and Yuck. Next up, we have animated feature film, Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, The Wild Robot. I've seen all of those other than Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, some good movies. Writing, original screenplay, Anora, Sean Baker, The Brutalist, Brady Corbet and Mona Fastfold, married couple actually. A Real Pain, Jesse Eisenberg, September 5, Mortis Binder, Tim Fellman, and co-written by Alex David. The Substance, Coralie Farjay. I've been hearing Farjay, I've been hearing Farjia. I don't know what the name is. It's French, but I'm just going to go with Coralie Farjay. Hopefully I'm kind of right. Writing adapted screenplay, A Complete Unknown, James Mangold and Jay Cox. Conclave by Peter Strong, which I'm reading Conclave right now. I'm probably will finish it today maybe if I play my cards right. And one of my favorite movies of the year, but one of my favorite books so far this year as well. It's even though I know what's going to happen, it's very it's very great. I like the book a lot. I recommend reading it. It's by Robert Harris. All right, Emilia Perez, screenplay by Jack Aridard in collaboration with some people. Nickel Boys, screenplay by Ramel Ross and Jocelyn Barnes. Sing Sing, screenplay by Clint Bentley, Greg Kadar, and story by Clint Bentley, Greg Kadar, Clarence Macklin, John Devine G. Whitfield. All right, time for the acting ones. Actress in supporting role, Monica Barbaro, A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande, Wicked, Felicity Jones, The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini, Conclave, Zoe Saldana, Emilia Perez. Actor in supporting role, Yura Borsev, Anora, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain, Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce, The Brutalist, Jeremy Strong, The Apprentice. Actress in the leading role, Cynthia Erivo, Wicked, Carlos Sofia Gascon, Emilia Perez. First openly transgender nominee, I think ever, if not just specifically Best Actress, but I wouldn't say ever, but I know definitely for Best Actress. First openly transgender nominee. Some history there. Mikey Madison, Anora, Demi Moore, The Substance, Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here. Again, so excited to see that movie. It's like one of the big ones I haven't seen yet of this whole list. Actor in a leading role, Adrian Brody, The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet, A Complete Unknown, which apparently his name's supposed to be pronounced Timothée. Sometimes I go back and forth, but anyway. Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes, Conclave, Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice. Directing, we have Jack Aridard, Emilia Perez, Sean Baker, Anora, Brady Corbet, The Brutalist, Coralie Farjay, The Substance, James Mangold, A Complete Unknown, and finally, Best Picture, the 10 Best Picture nominees, Anora. I shouldn't even say, a lot of these nominees, they were kind of making fun of it when they were, the people who announced the nominees today were Rachel Sennett and what's his name, Bowen Yang, and they were saying like, PGA Producers Guild, like get the nominees together, because a bunch of them were like, nominees to be determined, like they hadn't actually said who are the producers we're putting up for this award. Anyway, so I'm not even going to name the names because most of them are to be determined. But we have Anora, we have The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. So yeah, that's just kind of a quick run through of the nominees. I want to just talk about some of the surprises, especially in the big categories that I was kind of pointing out as we were kind of going along here. I should say in general, the total nominations I count, Emilia Perez has the most nominations of any film this year with 13, which is tied for the second most nominations of any film at the Oscars, which is crazy to me. There's been a lot of backlash about Emilia Perez. When I saw it end of November around Thanksgiving time. I didn't like it that much, but ever since I've seen so much backlash about it. Like I kind of mentioned, like some of the things like the filmmakers are French and they didn't really have like a lot of experience even in Mexico. They said they didn't need to go to Mexico to like learn anything from them. Like they knew enough. There's been some backlash in terms of like just the story in general. Like they didn't really like the whole musical element of it. There's been a lot going on with them. And a lot of people were like upset that they were nominated for 13 things and are already expecting them to win several. We put it up against certain films that has had 13, like Oppenheimer last year at 13. I don't know, the Lord of the Rings. There's a bunch of these things they were naming, and people were like, "Emilia Perez for real?" I don't know. I didn't like the film very, very much, but I don't necessarily see why it got so many nominations, but I'm not surprised at the same time because I've been seeing it been hyped up a lot by a lot of people and whatever. Anyways, Emilia Perez has 13. The Brutalist has 10, as does Wicked. A Complete Unknown has 8, as does Conclave. Nora has 6, 4 of those being Sean Baker for picture, director, original screenplay, and film editing. The other 2 are the 2 kind of main actors, Mikey Madison and Yura Borisov. Dune Part 2 with 5. The Substance with 5. Nosferatu with 4. I'm Still Here with 3. As well as Sing Sing with 3. And The Wild Robot with 3. The Apprentice with 2, both for the acting. Flow with 2. Nickel Boys with 2. And A Real Pain with 2. Some kind of facts about the nominees. Cynthia Erivo joins Viola Davis as the only Black actress to receive multiple Best Actress nominations. Which, to me, when I saw that, I was like, is that true? Like, I didn't even realize Viola Davis was the only Black actress to have 2 Best Actress nominations. Her 2 came from The Help, and then from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And then Cynthia's came from Harriet and then Wicked. And I was like, really, Viola? In 97 years, this is only the second time that we've had a Black actress be nominated for Best Actress twice, which is crazy. Not even like in succession, just like at all. Crazy. This is the first time since 1997 that all of the directing nominees are first-time nominees in the category. Again, those nominees are Jacques Ariadard, Sean Baker, Brady Corbet, Corley Farjat, and James Mangold. So that's kind of cool. I believe there are 13 first-time acting nominees. There are a lot. We have Fernanda Torres, Ariana Grande, Mikey Madison, Demi Moore, Carlos Sofia Gascon, Sebastian Stan, Monica Barbaro, Isabella Rossellini, Zoe Saldana, Yura Borisov, Kieran Culkin, Jeremy Strong, and Guy Pearce are all first-time acting nominees. So out of the 20, 13 of them are first-timers. I believe there was a big number last year as well that had a lot of first-timers, which I think is always nice. You know, some new faces. And one more kind of fact here. All 5 of the Best Actress performances, which the actors nominated for Best Actress are Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carlos Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison and Nora, Demi Moore, The Substance, and Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here. All 5 of them are also Best Picture nominated films. This is the first time that's happened in 47 years, which is, again, cool. One more little note here as well. The Substance is the 7th horror film to be nominated for Best Picture. Up there with the likes like Jaws and Get Out, like only the 7th in all these years. I know for a lot of the horror fans, which I'm not really a big horror fan, but I know for a lot of the horror fans, they're very happy to get some representation at the big award shows like this. So that's exciting for them. All right, let me talk about some snubs and some surprises. So the first one that jumped out to me immediately, because I mean this was actually the first kind of category read, was no original score nomination for Challengers, which when they were reading it, I remember I was like typing the nominations as it was going, and I was like, wait a minute, did they forget to say Challengers? The night before, I watched like the last 5 minutes of Challengers, because I just to kind of see like that kind of whole tennis sequence again, and the whole thing where the music is really pumping as well. It's pumping through the whole film, but in that part in particular. And I was like, I can't believe they didn't give them a nomination. They just won the Golden Globe, which I know the Golden Globe does not mean you're going to automatically get a nomination, but I was just expecting them to be nominated, like as many of us were. So I was really just like, wow. And the minute I saw they weren't nominated for score, I said, okay, well, there's no shot for Best Picture then. As I think they were kind of one of the people in my running to maybe get a Best Picture nomination. But yeah, when I saw no score nomination, I said, okay, well, they're out completely. Some people were also mentioning the cinematography. I'm not necessarily surprised I didn't get it either, but like I said, after they didn't get score, I was like, okay, well, Challengers is off completely. Next up in cinematography, Conclave. I think I talked about in my video about like my favorite movies of 2024. I should put some shots of Conclave. Conclave was like one of the most wonderfully shot films, and there was no nomination for them, and I was shocked by that. Also, I will say Nickel Boys, I thought had a great, completely first-person point of view was the film, and I think that was great, and that could have got a cinematography nomination, but nothing for them. I'm sad. The nominees there were The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. I could have dropped Emilia Perez, I haven't seen Nosferatu, but, you know, again, the Conclave or Nickel Boys, what's going on? Tough. And another one, I was not surprised because he hasn't been getting, like, anything. he hasn't been getting any nominations, and I forgot that he didn't get a nomination for the first Dune as well. Denis Villeneuve for directing, which Dune Part 2, especially the last Dune as well, which I said I didn't realize he didn't get nomination for the first one. I think he got it for Best Picture, but not for directing. Denis Villeneuve, like, someone has to direct the movie. Like, he's doing excellent work, and he's not getting nominated. Like I said, I wasn't surprised. He didn't get a DGA nomination. He didn't get a Gold Globe nomination. I think some of the other ones, but the nominees are Jacques Audiard, Sean Baker, Brady Corbet, Corley Farge, and James Mangold. So all first timers in the category, but Denis Villeneuve, like, what's going on? I don't even know if Denis Villeneuve's been nominated. He probably was for Arrival or something a couple years ago, but tough. Some other ones kind of I wasn't as shocked by, but just to note them: Angelina Jolie, Nothing for Maria. Who else? Pamela Anderson, Nothing for The Last Showgirl. Nothing at all for The Last Showgirl. Some people would thought Pamela Anderson could have slid in there. Daniel Deadwyler for supporting actress for The Piano Lesson. No nomination for The Piano Lesson at all. I don't think they might have gotten one thing. I don't remember if I read their name at all. Someone tell me in the comments, or I'll look over later. And then also Clarence Macklin and Sing Sing. Clarence Macklin was one for me for supporting actor. I was kind of like teetering, like, I'm not sure will he make it in or not. The people I had like a feeling like are definitely in. I knew Kieran Culkin was going to be in. I knew Yura Borisov was going to be in from A Real Pain and The North, respectively. And I thought, like, The Brutalist has been climbing up. They're probably going to give something to Guy Pearce. They're probably going to give something to Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown. And then Jeremy Strong was kind of a little bit of my surprise for The Apprentice. So I maybe hoped, I think Clarence Macklin could have maybe gotten that Jeremy Strong spot, but he was really going toe-to-toe with Colman Domingo in the film. I think he was excellent, but unfortunately it was not his time. So kind of speaking on that, a little bit of the surprises. So yeah, Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. I wasn't 100% sure if he would get it. I think The Apprentice has been getting some more like chatter in the past couple weeks, I feel like. So he slid in there. Also with The Apprentice, Sebastian Stan, when they read his name, I at first was thinking like, okay, maybe for A Different Man, and they said The Apprentice. I said, oh, okay. Like, I thought if anything, they maybe would give it to him for A Different Man. I mean, he was excellent in both films, but I went to The Apprentice instead, and that's fine. I think it's a good movie. A movie people should probably see. I won't talk too much more about that movie, but yeah, The Apprentice. Felicity Jones nominated for Best Supporting Actress in The Brutalist. Kind of similar to the Guy Pearce thing with The Brutalist climbing in like chatter. I was thinking to myself, they're probably going to slot Felicity Jones in here, so I wasn't so surprised to see her name. Similar with Monica Barbaro, for A Complete Unknown. I kind of was like, A Complete Unknown is getting more chatter. They're probably going to slot her in. I feel like a lot of times, because there are some performances that I feel like are stronger than others. Like for example, like I said, Daniel Deadwyler in The Piano Lesson. But The Piano Lesson wasn't getting like Best Actor, wasn't getting Best Picture or Best Director or all these nominations. So they kind of go for like, oh, we're already inviting these people. Like, I don't want to say it like that, but it kind of feels like that sometimes where they're kind of like, well, the whole film, we're going to just keep nominating from this film, stick with the people who are in this thing, and maybe not necessarily have a bunch of one-offs. Even like I said, even like this year, all the Best Actress nominees are all from Best Picture nominees. That hasn't happened in 47 years, because usually there's like one or two who have kind of like just random. Like now, Best Picture nomination, they're just like, they give a great performance, but not to be this year. But yeah, those are kind of like some of my quick little thoughts about the awards. In general, I'm excited for them. I've seen mostly everything. The thing I'm most excited to see from this list that I haven't seen yet is I'm Still Here. Like I said, I'm seeing that in 2 weeks. Everything else I've seen a few times. Like I said, I'll come back in a couple of weeks for some predictions. I already have some strong frontrunners. Certainly the ones that are kind of obvious that have been nominated for everything, they're kind of like big frontrunners. People who have won things already, they're frontrunners. But we'll see kind of how else things shake up when we have the BAFTAs. The Critics' Choice Awards got pushed a couple times because of the LA fires, and that's coming up still. And we have the SAGs and the DGAs and all these other things coming up. So we will see what the shake up looks like in a couple weeks here. But those are the Oscar nominations for 2025. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have any of your own surprises or snubs from the Oscar nominations this year? Are there any films you're looking forward to seeing? Let me know. Drop it in the comments. We can chat about it. Like I said, I'll be back in a couple weeks to talk about some predictions. Really go see these movies, especially the Best Picture movies. They usually get released back in theaters in the kind of weeks leading up to the Oscars, so give those a watch if you can. A lot of them are on streaming services already. A lot of them you could buy, so if that's the way you got to do it, then do it. I saw someone talking about Nickel Boys, for example. It's kind of a smaller film, and it getting a Best Picture nomination just means that more eyes are going to be on it, more people are going to go see it, which is exciting, so that's always nice to see. All these movies are really great. Like I said, I'm still really excited to see. I'm still here. But yeah, go give these a chance if you want. Watch the Oscars on March 2nd. Come back for my predictions video and everything else. Comment below the whole thing. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.